Right, on to this story now. Electricity Minister Kgosientsho Ramokgopa is continuing his oversight visits to power stations. His road trip takes him to the Free State today, where he will be visiting the Lethabo facility. In fact, he's been there since this morning. He says he's already engaged specialists to immediately begin tackling rolling blackouts. eNCA's Heidi Giokos is in Metsimaholo in the Free State. That's where we find her, particularly at the Lethabo power station. Heidi, have you been able to get any word on what's been happening behind closed doors in those meetings?
Yes, Masako, I think let's just get perspective from the Minister. He has just arrived, so we can just understand exactly what's going on, and he can give us an update on Lethabo. Thanks so much for your time, Minister. I'm very disappointed you didn't dance for us, but anyway, maybe just tell us about your visit at Lethabo, one of the best performing power stations.
Yes, it's one of the two best performing power stations together with Matimba. And what is exciting about Lethabo is that they've maintained that performance over an extended period of time. And they were able to share with us that they've got 6 units, and unit number 6 has shown that they can reach 90% of energy availability factor just on that unit. So it means that it's possible across the entire units. But they've set themselves a target to take it to about 79% of the energy availability factor. And really the issues at Lethabo has to do with, if you like, the issues around coal supply going into the future. We know that the current contract runs up until 2029, so there has to be investments made, if you like, in the coal plant, the mine there, because it's a cost plus mine, meaning that any investments that have to be made in the mine has to be carried by Eskom itself. So we are happy about the performance of Lethabo, and we can see that the units really are being ramped up. They are performing exceptionally well. One of the units that was out is coming on stream, I think, by Monday. It should be giving us an additional 400 megawatts. So I'm excited about Lethabo because it's an illustration that there exists a template of, if you like, the best approximation of what is possible, if you like, from a performance point of view. And the visits, they help because you have a better appreciation on what constitute key weaknesses in some of the plants. You can see how this group here have addressed them. So it's important that there has to be a platform for them to exchange ideas. And they have attempted to do that by clustering the mines, but I think we can expand the scope of those conversations. Some of the things that other mines are experiencing, for an example, the boiler tube leaks, are being addressed here, if you like, with greater levels of efficiency. So here it's a good story to tell. I mean, if all of the power plants were to perform at this level, you will not have anything called load shedding. So I'm excited about Lethabo. Like I said, I'm buoyed. I'm excited about the prospect and the opportunity for us to resolve load shedding.
So I just want to ask a question, Minister. So you say the one unit is not operating at full capacity. If this power station operates at full capacity, how much does it give us?
Okay, so it's 6 units, and on average is about 6,000 megawatts. So if you like, it's about 3,600 megawatts. But remember, we're at 73. So the opportunity to recover or get out of load shedding is not here because they have already pushed. Of course, they can add additional megawatts. The opportunity to resolve load shedding is at the ones that are your worst performers. So you remember yesterday we were at Tutuka, so that's where it's at 25%. If we ramp up that 25%, Tutuka has got a potential of giving us an additional 3,000 megawatts. So in theory, you are removing 3 stages of load shedding, and we know what the problems are, and they've mapped, if you like, with us, indicating the timelines that it will take to return these units into service. And we are happy about the timelines, but there were additional questions that they needed to go and respond to. And then when we come back, of course, it's part of what I've been sharing with you, and thanks for giving me this platform to share with the viewers at home, or share with the general public on what is the amount of megawatts that will be coming on stream as we move from one month to the other. We'll be at that level of granularity. So it's 7 down, So we're left with another 6 coal-powered power station and 1 nuclear. We're in Cape Town tomorrow, the nuclear and 2 other power stations, and then we'll go and do the picking plants. Remember that in the fraternity of Eskom, there's 30 power stations, if you like. So hydro, you mentioned them. But these 14 are the ones that are key, because they're the ones that give you base load, and I think their share is about 90% of the installed capacity. So to resolve this problem, it is this fleet that must perform, and that's why we are visiting these 14 power stations. So you can see we move from one extreme of an underperformer, Kusile and Tutuka, and now we are at the opposite end, one of the top 2 best performers. So there are lessons to be drawn from here. The minimum request we placed on them: please don't go below what you are giving us. Yeah? That will be our measure of their performance. Don't go below what you have given us. You have set a standard. This is a minimum floor for you, and then others then can look up to you. So they are aspirational others. They want to go to the levels of Lethabo. So we'll use this as a beacon, as a template. This constitute, if you like, a target for people like Tutuka, for people like Kusile, for people like Kriel, for people like stations like Kendall. So that's where we are. So you can see that the picture is coming together at a granular level, and we are introducing a degree of certainty on how best we'll resolve this problem. And this can only be possible because the President has chosen, let this Minister of Electricity go onto the ground. I'm not receiving the reports in the boardroom. I'm here with management asking detailed technical questions, and a lot of them have never been found wanting. They know what the issues are. There's issues of leadership that requires attention at megawatts. There's issues of capex requires attention at megawatts. So I'm confident about our ability to resolve the challenges.
Minister, you had an opportunity to interact with workers and unions earlier on. There's often been a standoff between them and Eskom around wage negotiations. They've been accused of sabotage and other matters. Can you take us into your confidence? What are their concerns? What are they asking you for to better improve their conditions?
Oh yes, absolutely correct. So I think something that can torpedo our effort is those if you like, salary negotiations. And of course, that's the domain of management. One of the things that I don't want to do is to overstep the mark. So the CEO has a responsibility to address that. Of course, the board will also give overall direction. But like I said, I mean, I'm not a spectator. I'm not an ornamental minister. They'll share these things with me to the extent that they can be resolved this side of the fence by Minister Godan, by myself. They'll receive attention. But I said to them, let's give management an opportunity to resolve this. We had appeal to them that they must try and find each other as soon as possible, because I think there's a bigger challenge that is confronting us without downplaying, if you like, the demands and the grievance of workers. Because like I said, it is only a happy workforce that will help us to resolve these challenges. It is, employees are the biggest asset to any organization. So it's important that we resolve those issues. And of course, there are significant constraints that are documented with regards to Eskom's balance sheet, its ability to meet some of the operational requirements. Of course, there's been relief from National Treasury. There has to be an appreciation of, if you like, the overall equilibrium. So there has to be some degree of balance. I'm confident I'll give them space to do that. It's not my forte, and I'm confident leadership of the unions and management to resolve this matter going forward.
Any issues outside of the wage disagreements that they would like for you to address?
No. They haven't raised that. We'll be coming back here for a much deeper, substantive discussion with the workers, and that's not in the domain of what is that of management, but what could be their contribution to the resolution of load shedding. As I move from one plant to the other, I'm getting buoyed, if you like. So I'm emboldened about our ability to resolve this question.
Maybe just 1 moment, sorry, Heidi. Just in terms of the fluctuating levels of load shedding. Today we're on stage 6, tomorrow we're on stage 1. You've expressed some skepticism about that. Should we be exploring, it's been something that's been touted before, to stay on for example, stage 2, even if our capacity is great at that time and point, just in order to allow for maintenance, etc. Your thoughts on that?
Oh no, I think it's a management determination. So when you go to stations, they tell you that we need a window of opportunity. so that we are able to address, if you like, some of the failures in the units. If we can be allowed to take them out, fix them, of course, at great cost to, if you like, levels of load shedding and the economy. But over a period of time, I think there's going to be a net benefit. There's that calculation that must be done. So first, leave it to management and the board. I have a contribution to make. I'll make that contribution, and it's the totality of these efforts that will be communicated to the general public. Yes, you are right. The point to be emphasized, the biggest worry for me is that the system is unstable. I mean, we could be here, I just said one unit is coming back. I could be told as I leave that another unit is out. So that's the problem you have. Of course, that's not been the situation in Lethabo. But in some power stations, we have encountered that. As I get home, I'm told, the unit is out, Minister. So and then the net effect is such that it subtracts from where we are. But it's a valid question. It's something that requires attention. I think what people need is certainty so that they are able to plan their lives. So you can see, I mean, if you oscillate from stage 1 to stage 6, you can see, I mean, the gap there is talks to the unreliability of the system, the number of trips that we have, which requires attention. I mean, on a daily basis, a report that was done 18-19, and the situation appears to have gotten worse, was that we are experiencing about 6 trips a day, essentially taking out 3,600 megawatts. On average, a trip will be taking out 600 megawatts because that's the average installed capacity per unit. So that's the problem that we have, and it takes them 48 hours on average to come back. So as the others went out, if you were to linearize it, 6 went out yesterday, 6 are going out tomorrow. Again, the other 6 going out. The other one that went out 2 days later is coming back. You can see those degree of oscillations needs to be attended to. But one of the issues coming out also at the Lethabo is just the age of the fleet. So you just need to replenish it. But they're able to extract a lot out of this fleet without compromising its efficiency, because you can see the energy availability factor is at 73.98%. So we are confident. But yes, I mean, we have to resolve that question on just giving people certainty.
Thanks so much. Thanks for your time, Minister. We do appreciate it. That is the Minister of Electricity, just giving an overview of his visit here at Lethabo Power Station. Some good news is that this is one of the best performing power stations that we have. And once Unit 6 is able to come back online fully, we'll be able to be seeing more megawatts. I think what's critical, though, coming from the Minister, is the fact that he's indicated that it's not to get the best performing power stations to perform better, but rather get the worst performing power stations to ramp up, because that's where the issue lies, and that's how we're going to be seeing almost the end of rolling blackouts. Masego.
Well, he's the man who's supposed to sort it out, Heidi, and I wouldn't want to be him at this present moment. But thank you for that report. Heidi Giokos live for us in Metsimaholo in the Free State outside the Lethabo Power Station.